Hello, I'm Brian Jones and I'm President of the CPA, the Construction Plant Hire Association, which is the longest trade association for the plant hire sector here in the UK. We're very pleased to support the European Rental Association's Rental Week, which is known in the UK as Plant Hire Week. Our final video clip focuses on the pillar of Plant Hire Week, which is sustainability. The CPA's policy manager, Cassley, interviews Jeremy Fish, the Chief Executive of Ardent Hire Solutions, about the company's initiatives relating to sustainability. This video just shows how important sustainability is in our industry, and we hope it gives you everything you need and enjoy it.
Hi, I'm Chris Cassley, Policy Manager for the Construction Plant Hire Association. I'm here with Jeremy Fish, the Chief Executive of Ardent Hire Solutions, and we're here to talk about the third pillar of Plant Hire Week, which is sustainability. We're filming here at Ardent's Bedford depot in Bedford, England. Jeremy, tell us, how important is sustainability to your business?
Well, it's very important, obviously. It's the way the world is moving. I think as a businessman, as a leader of our business, I feel, and we feel as a company, a sense of responsibility and obligation to make returns for our shareholders, but do it in a responsible way. And actually, the problem in this industry is that plant is actually one of the worst offenders in terms of CO2 emissions, and it's a challenge that all of us have got to step up to by hook or by crook.
Yeah. And I believe as a company, you've got a target of becoming carbon neutral by 2035. How are you as a business going to be looking to achieve that, or how already doing it?
Well, we've got 4 approaches to our sustainability. The first one is actually helping our customers to reduce emissions, and we do that with technology that helps them understand how much idling time they have with their equipment, and then we send them friendly reminders to actually stop idling. And our experience is actually people reduce their idling from anything from 18% down to as low as 4%. So it does work. Then we have a system of offsetting the balance. So we have got one of the industry's first carbon offsetting programs. We run it on a not-for-profit basis. We're open and transparent with the charging and the pricing and how the money is used, and that's all up on our website. In fact, we share it with other colleagues in the industry as well. So customers can make their cars carbon neutral. Then we've got a policy of investing in the latest fleet. So with our telehandlers, for example, the majority of them now are stage 5. And stage 5 are much more efficient in terms of NOx emissions. They've got smaller engines, so they emit less carbon dioxide. So actually investing in the latest equipment helps you be, at the most modern and up-to-date standards. And then we've got a policy of innovating. So whether that's looking at HVO, which many customers are looking at, or whether it's something like our Fuel-It product that helps customers account for their fuel and reduce pilfering and wastage. So we're constantly looking at those sorts of things as well. Not to mention electric machines as well, which will have their place in the market. In fact, they already do.
Yeah. And what proportion of your fleet do you have as electric equipment at the moment?
Well, it's quite small. The electric machines tend to be more suitable in the smaller equipment categories. The larger equipment categories haven't quite made it yet, and we see hybrid machines, we see the odd battery machine here, but actually here and there. But the reality is the capital costs of those machines are 2 to 3 times higher than a diesel machine, and that's got to be reflected in the rental price. And then to make that worse, the residual value of these machines then is less than a diesel machine, because actually you're almost writing off the batteries straight away, and the batteries are very expensive. So I think while the technology might make it, and I say might because I think on house builder sites and sites where machines are heavily utilised, the machines probably aren't quite where they need to be. I would think that electric in the bigger machine categories is probably not going to happen, to be honest.
What about sort of using HVO and well, hydrogen in the future? How's that sort of going to be, do you think, received by the industry? HVO obviously over the last few years has increasingly been used, but everyone talks about hydrogen and the possibilities there. How do you see that developing?
Well, HVO, there's a lot of sort of falsehoods about HVO. It is quite widely used. However, you don't actually get tailpipe reductions in emissions with HVO. You only get the scope 3 reduction. So you're not actually pumping out less carbon dioxide on your sites. I think there's still questions about the availability of HVO. There's questions about the cost, and there's also questions about how HVO is harvested. You know, and it's causing environmental damage from the crops that it's harvested from. You know, and that has its own environmental impact. In terms of hydrogen, actually, I do think hydrogen's got a place. And you know, on the face of it, hydrogen machines appear to be slightly more expensive than diesel machines, but I think within, you know, acceptable parameters, and they appear to perform very well. The challenge with hydrogen is identifying clean hydrogen and dirty hydrogen, so that's a challenge, and actually the availability of that fuel. You know, and making it widely available on construction sites. So that'll be the challenge. But I think hydrogen, yes, I do think hydrogen's got a future, and it's something that Ardent is looking at. And at the right time, we'll be trialling and testing hydrogen machines, as we do see that as a way ahead.
And is demand, do you find, sort of being driven by your customers as well? Are they looking to become more sustainable and choose you as a company for this? I mean, where is it if you're offering the product, but they're also demanding it? Where does it meet?
Well, some are and some aren't. I think, unfortunately, there are a lot of people in our industry, not just the plant industry, construction industry, that talk about sustainability but then don't do anything about it. And unfortunately, I see a lot of greenwashing in our industry as well, which I think is sad. I think it's quite rare that we would be selected as a supplier for our strategy on sustainability. And I think, you know, ultimately the only thing that I think that would drive change is probably enforcement and regulation. Having said that, I do know that a lot of the house builders, for example, are under a lot of pressure to reduce their emissions and to move towards carbon neutral businesses. Look, don't get me wrong, there are other businesses. I mean, look at Speedy Hire, for example. You know, they're doing a fantastic job, I think, in trying to push the sustainability agenda and raise the profile of that in the industry, and I think that's great. And I think more of us need to do that as a collective within our, you know, amongst ourselves.
Do you see it as a combination ultimately of sort of government action as well to meet the 2050 target, given that's not actually that far away? Do you see government action as well sort of coming into play to sort of move the industry towards that way, or is it eventually market forces will get there as electric kit becomes cheaper, as hydrogen becomes more mainstream and online?
I think it'll need government forces, to be honest with you. I really do. And there might be a bit of backtracking yet to come.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you very much. That was great. Thanks.